Okay everybody, I decided to make a video on a greenhouse that I'm making. This is outside of the motorcycle stuff I've been doing, but it's a pretty interesting project and I've done a lot of research on it, and this is what I came up with. Right here I have a 20-foot long PVC pipe, and it's 1 inch in diameter, and if you buy the 20-foot sections, they come with the connectors on the end already. So that makes a little less expense for you when you go to connect these. Since they're only 20 feet, what I wanted to do is make the hoops 22 feet long, so I bought 2 extra PVC pipes and cut them into 26-inch sections so that they'll fit in there and give me a true 24 inches, because they seat into those connectors 2 inches. So that's a total of 11 tubes that I bought, and 2 of those were used to be cut up. Alright, and then what I've got here is I've got the frame, and basically it is pressure treated 2x4s, and these sections here, my greenhouse is 16 feet long, so I've got 16-foot long pressure treated 2x4s, and it's 10 feet wide, so I've got pressure treated 10 footers on the ends. And then on the insides, what I've done is I've put an angle piece that you can buy at Home Depot and put a half-inch rod of rebar that's 2 feet long in each corner to hold the ends down where they need to be. And one of the things I did find out is the hoops here, the PVC actually off-gases and will ruin your greenhouse film if it touches your greenhouse film. And it also invalidates the warranty for greenhouse film. So what I did is my wife sewed a fleece material, and what we did is we slid it over these tubes like a sock. So we bought 8 yards of material, and that's 24 feet basically, and we were able to cut enough strips to do all 9 hoops. So as you can see, the hoop has been done with a big sock, and we're going to do that with every single tube so that the greenhouse film does not rest on the tubes. And you can see how those rebar work also for holding the wall tubes there, the first initial one, so we could check it and see how it's doing. So this is where we're at in the project, and we'll keep going with the films, and if you have any questions you can ask me about it. Thank you. Well, in case you were interested in making socks like I made to put on the PVC pipes, this is how they're sewn. And you know, you can see that it'll slide, and that material does stretch quite a bit. It's fleece, and we got it at Walmart, and it was like $3.50 a yard. So I ended up taking 8 yards to do 9 tubes. That's it. Okay, YouTube, we had another project that I've been working on. It's a greenhouse, and my greenhouse, I have, you saw earlier the original construction, how I started, and it's getting close to being done and ready to start growing plants, and I just wanted to show it to you and where we're at. The plastic that I ended up using for this greenhouse is really durable plastic. This is 12 mil plastic, and it's warranted for many years. It's like an 8-year warranty on this. It was a little expensive. It was about 200 bucks, but I wanted to have this thing last. I didn't want to have to keep recovering it every couple years. So you can see I have the plastic adhered to the bottom of the structure, and it has been really windy here this year so far, and this greenhouse is held up like a champ. There is nothing wrong with it. It is shaking around, and not a single hole or anything going wrong with it, so I would highly recommend this type of structure. You can see I got a little door here from Habitat for Humanity, and I think I paid 10 bucks for it, and I'll show you what I've done inside. I've got hydroponics that I've started to do, and I'm getting ready to fire it off. I've got the plants going and to the seedlings started, and you can see this is going to be my lettuce table, and this is a floating lettuce table. I can't remember the name of the gardener that I got this tip from, but I'll put it in a link on the video. And you can basically see this is all this is inch thick insulating backer board that you'd use in a house, and these are 2x6s that I built this lettuce box out of, and then it's got a piece of plywood underneath it, and then I lined it with plastic, and it'll hold water. And mine isn't going to be a stagnant water table. I'm going to have feed tubes feeding it water that are aerated, and then that water will flow back through the table and into the return tube, which will go back to my reservoir. And you can see in here I have Dutch buckets. I have 6 Dutch buckets here, and there are other videos for making Dutch buckets, and the same gardener that I got the tips for this lettuce table showed me how to do these as well. And you can see inside here I've got perlite, and we're getting ready to have the plants growing out of this as well. And you can see my feeder tube runs along the back here and will feed each individual Dutch bucket that I have. And of course here's the reservoir and the pump that feeds everything, and it's going to be a really cool project. I can't wait until it's done. This big bucket here, and I have another one too, I'm going to grow potatoes in these, and we're going to see how they do. There's not very good videos on people growing potatoes in hydroponics, so I will give you a blow-by-blow on my hydroponic potato project and let you see how that's going to go. And here I made myself a little grow light to get my seedlings going, and it's super cheap. I just took some scrap wood, and I picked up a few porcelain light sockets at the dollar store, or not the dollar store, but Habitat for Humanity. I think I paid $1 a piece for them, and then just wired them in series with a old plug that I had laying around in the shop, and wrapped it up in tin foil to direct the light down to the plants a little bit better. And if you're curious to know what kind of CFLs I used, it's just from research that I did on the internet. And these light bulbs right here, I picked them up at Walmart, and they were cheap and wasn't that much money, and they seem to be working really well as far as putting out the light. We'll see how they work with the plants. When I get more, I'll film it. Thanks, guys.